Today, in Part 2 of Canto 51 of the Yoga Vasistha, we will discuss topics such as cosmic unity, everything is Brahman, Sri Ram's repeated doubts, and the nature of the wise man's view, the great parable of the roasted seed, the parables of hot gold and gold bracelets, etc.
O Rama, and to all of you joining this explainer of our sacred text today, let's sit together and really reflect on the nature of reality. You see, the journey we're on right now, it's not just some intellectual exercise. It's the actual path to waking up from the deep slumber of ignorance. So listen closely as we unfold the absolute truth of existence.
Let's dive right into verses 28 and 29. The foundational phrase here is Sarvam Kalvadam Brahma. Let's look at these words. Sarvam literally means all, everything without exception. Kalvadam means, indeed, this whole manifest universe right in front of us. And Brahma is that infinite, indivisible, ultimate consciousness. So what does this all mean? It means this isn't just a poetic exaggeration, Rama. It's the literal truth. Everything you see, feel, and experience is just an expression of one single, indivisible consciousness. There is zero separation, none.
When we break this down, you'll see it operates on a few different levels. Literally, the whole cosmos is just woven from the fabric of Brahman. Philosophically, well, I'm showing you that all the division and separation we think we see is just an illusion. It's a trick of the mind. And practically speaking, applying this to your life is a real game changer. It heals the mind. When you actually see this cosmic unity, you stop seeing people as separate from you. You let go of those ego-driven conflicts simply because you realize that hurting someone else is literally just hurting a part of the exact same whole, a part of yourself.
But, a profound teaching like this naturally brings up a pretty profound question. If everything is one, how on earth do the wise view this fractured, painful world we live in? You actually brought up this very doubt, Rama. You looked at the suffering, the constant changes, the pain out there, and asked, Master, if everything is this blissful Brahman, why does the world look so divided and full of sorrow? And honestly, that's a perfectly valid human skepticism. We've all been there.
So let's look at verses 38 and 39, which capture that renewed doubt perfectly. You're asking how a knower of truth, an enlightened sage, actually perceives this dualistic world. This is the universal struggle for every spiritual seeker, right? We're all caught in this tension between the ultimate non-dual reality and the worldly illusion, the Maya, that we wake up to every single day. But the wise man? He operates from a completely different vantage point.
Let's deconstruct that tension. On a literal level, the wise don't reject the world as completely false, but they don't accept it as absolute reality either. Philosophically, the enlightened mind sees this whole world as just a temporary, unfolding play, a divine manifestation of eternal Brahman. What does this mean for you practically? It means you can still do your daily duties, feel your emotions, and live your life without being crushed by the temporary nature of it all. The wise man watches the play, but he never forgets he's the witness, not just an actor.
To resolve this profound doubt, Rama, let's look at a vivid truth of nature, the parable of the roasted seed.
In verses 40 and 41, we're introduced to a really core mechanism of liberation, the idea that the fire of knowledge burns the seed of karma. The Sanskrit here uses janagni, the fire of knowledge, and karma bija, the seed of action. You see, karma is this endless cycle of action and reaction, constantly planting seeds for future joy or suffering. But what actually happens when that seed gets tossed into a fire?
Let's dig into the philosophical depth of this metaphor. Literally, if you take a raw seed and roast it in a fire, it looks exactly the same on the outside, right? But it has completely lost its ability to sprout. Philosophically, that fire is supreme knowledge, and the seed is our karmic attachment and ignorance. For the modern mind, this is absolutely crucial. It's about neutralizing our psychological attachments. You can still live in the world and do your duties, just like the roasted seed keeps its shape. But because the fire of knowledge has roasted your attachments, those actions just don't bind you to future suffering anymore.
Take a look at this progression. Step 1. The raw seed. This is our normal state of ignorance, where every little action plants a seed for a future karmic reaction. Step 2. The roasting fire. This is the awakening, acquiring that non-dual knowledge. And step 3. The inability to sprout, which is liberation, or moksha. The big takeaway here is that an enlightened mind, even while living in a physical body and interacting with the world, is exactly like that roasted seed. It literally cannot generate new karmic suffering. It's completely free from the cycle.
To make sure this profound truth really sticks, let's move to a second parable,
the heated gold and the bracelet.
Verses 50 and 51 present this idea beautifully. They talk about the unchanging substance that exists inside constantly changing forms. The Sanskrit distinction here is between suvarna, the pure gold, and katakam, the bracelet or ornament. We get so mesmerized by the names and forms, the nama and rupa of things in this world, that we completely forget the pure, formless substance they're actually made of.
Let's break this down. Literally speaking, whether gold is melted down into a bracelet, a ring, or a crown, its fundamental substance is still just pure gold. Philosophically, Brahman, that ultimate reality, stays exactly the same even though it appears as this huge, diverse universe of planets, people, and objects. Practically, this is a huge lesson. It teaches us not to get all worked up over the changing forms of life. Just like melting a bracelet doesn't destroy the gold itself, the changing or passing of physical forms absolutely does not diminish the eternal reality of the soul.
Just look at the contrast here. The gold is unchanging and formless. It represents Brahman, the eternal reality. The bracelet is temporary. It has a specific form, and it represents worldly illusion. You, Rama, and really all of us seeking the truth, have to learn to see the gold in the bracelet. We have to spot that eternal truth that's hiding right in plain sight, right in the middle of all the temporary illusions of our daily lives. Now, let's do a logical synthesis and see how we're weaving this story and philosophy together.
Central to all of this is the incredible truth of Advaita. Advaita simply translates to non-duality, meaning not two. It's the ultimate reality underlying everything. It basically says the creator and the creation aren't two separate things. The observer and the observed are one and the same. This ancient concept is the absolute bedrock of our explainer today, bringing supreme spiritual depth straight into your everyday awareness.
Let's tie all these teachings together and connect them to our broader Vedic tradition. The main philosophical question was, how do we reconcile a perfect, unified reality with a painful, divided world? And the conclusion we arrived at is super clear. It's through the knowledge that roasts the seed of karma and sees the pure gold within the changing form. Understanding terms like Brahman, karma, and Advaita helps us see this exact same thread of truth woven all throughout the Upanishads and other sacred texts. It's all one unified wisdom.
All right, let's look at the summary of Chapter 51 and this incredible journey from illusion to realization.
Here are the core truths you need to take away. First, cosmic unity. All is indeed Brahman. There is nothing else. Second, knowledge is the fire that actually stops the cycle of karma. Third, all worldly forms are just temporary illusions. They're the bracelet, not the gold. And finally, the wise don't run away from the world. They just see the underlying unity right in the middle of the surface division. These teachings bridge the gap between ancient philosophy and the practical liberation of your mind today. They aren't just old stories. They're profound psychological tools. They teach you how to handle stress, anxiety, and worldly division by fundamentally shifting how you perceive reality. When you truly know this, you live a completely free life.
Before we wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a meditative question to really ponder. If your outer form, your body, your titles, your daily roles, is just like that temporary bracelet, what is the unchanging, golden truth of your inner self? Let that question sit with you for a while. Let it ignite that fire of knowledge within your own mind.
On behalf of the Vedmata AI family, if you found our presentation informative, please share our video as widely as possible so that the authentic knowledge of Indian Vedic texts can reach everyone. Come, let us all participate in this yagya of knowledge. Har Har Mahadev.